Now we all agree that there is nothing harder than granting forgiveness to those that hurt us deeply. But is there any sin that's too big to forgive? Well, a 43-year-old woman in Rwanda is living testimony that forgiveness does heal wounds. She now works side by side with a man who left her for dead in a swamp during the 1994 genocide. And as Mashirima Kapombe reports, Alice's scars are even more motivation for her to have mercy on the perpetrators of the violence in just 90 days.
In the land of 1,000 hills, a land that God seemed to have forgotten 21 years ago, a group is taking care of their tree nursery. But here there is something more than seedlings taking root. Alice leans on her stump that is a constant reminder of the horror that befell her and Rwanda during the 1994 genocide. She is smiling though, working hand in hand with Emmanuel, the man who is the reason for her scars.
It was on 29th April 1994. Perpetrators found me in a marshy area where I was hiding. I was with my 9-month-old daughter and niece of 9 years.
Soldiers came with buses on that 29th and took us to a swamp where they told us to kill all those who were hiding there. I had killed many, but in that swamp, I only killed her.
Emmanuel thought Alice was dead owing to the wounds he and his counterparts had inflicted.
I cut her hand. I cut her on the places he has shown you. Another one pierced her with a spear.
My niece was beaten up and my daughter was killed by a panga. They left me in the swamp bleeding, and later, when other soldiers came and found me alive, they rescued me from the place.
21 years later, Alice and Emmanuel worked together, having both lived beyond the pale of a nightmare that back then seemed unending.
I had killed many others, but I asked for forgiveness because of the guilt I felt. We both had children sponsored by World Vision and they started training us. I tried several times to ask for forgiveness but couldn't because of guilt.
The guilt of the perpetrators scared them from me, especially when they saw my scars.
But through their cooperative group, the past has remained where it should be, in the past. This tree that they now water together at Alice's homestead was planted by Emmanuel. Alice has also planted an avocado tree in his homestead.
Even his children know the woman who their father attacked during the genocide planted this tree, and the same in my homestead, so that when they grow up, they will eat the fruits knowing that it is a sign of forgiveness and unity.
The two have now become ambassadors of forgiveness and reconciliation in their community, despite others wondering just how they do it. Emmanuel has already served an 8-year jail sentence after he confessed the atrocities he committed. After confessing to Alice, he was sentenced to 10 more years, but the sentence was reduced to 2 years community service as he had already served 8 years. Today, their group has not only cultivated forgiveness, it is also filling their pockets.
We sell seedlings and I get income for our households. We also have fruits. Trees are also used as medicine.
In what seems like another world, Kenya's politics is now firmly fixed on a debate about who framed who into getting Deputy President William Ruto and former radio presenter Joshua Arap Sang indicted at the International Criminal Court.
Tukienda kwa njia tuchukue Anyanyo, tuchukue Raila,
Across the country, though, many survivors of the post-election violence are trying to fix their own lives. Perhaps in some way, Alice and Emmanuel's story can reflect into their own lives, that they may take action to use the scars they have borne and the scars that they have inflicted to rebuild their lives. Mashirima Kapombe, KTN News.